families together.
Yeah.
Because it's very hard.
And she kept a few other families together too.
Yeah.
But George was terrible at the time that I knew him. Wasn't a gambler.
No, but I guess once the TABs got put in pubs, it
Yeah.
became.
Joe was never a gambler. Reg would have buy a lottery ticket. Harry was a bit of a gambler later on. And I'm a bit of a gambler. But I would never thought he would be a gambler. But a heavy drinker.
Yeah.
He liked to drink.
Yeah. Every afternoon after work he'd be at the pub.
Well, I'm glad. Did he? We were saying, because I remember the question you asked me. How come did he have a death certificate? Or
Yes, I've got a death certificate.
what did they? Oh, all right, that'd be interesting.
Yeah. So and what I have since found out, which I haven't had a chance to do yet, is you can actually, and there's also a coroner's report.
You over here on business or?
Yeah, I've been on a conference today.
What do you do?
You can have this as, but that is the death certificate. Yeah, so you see he's got the ages, or the year being 1920 for his birthday. I don't know why you put your age forward by 7 years.
Do you know what? I've been doing a lot of.
What did the coroner have to say?
I haven't, I believe I should be able to get a copy of the coroner's report, but we haven't got that yet.
I was talking
he died
to.
of a heart attack. As I say,
Do you have diabetes?
I tell you what, Gerard.
The rest of the family did so.
If he didn't, he bloody should have done. His diet was terrible. He wouldn't eat breakfast. His lunch would be limit biscuits, if you remember those old things. And then he'd go to the pub after. You can have that if you like. He'd go to the pub after work, and Mum would have his dinner on a saucepan waiting for him. So there's no nutrients left in it. I think any goodness he got was out of the beer.
At the moment,
The research that we were doing before to try and track down who he might have been was looking at the different regimental symbols as well.
Right.
So, but we didn't have that South Australian connection. So,
Panther emblem.
yeah. So, but if and it's interesting, yeah. So we just need to try and track that down now, and also to see what the coroner's report will say, because it will talk about scars, tattoos, etc. as well.
Did he walk with a limp at all, or did he have any sort of a limp?
Not really that I'm aware of. I did. He was always heavy in my memory. So you do walk a little bit differently when you're carrying a bit of weight.
He had a truck accident in the suburb of Sydney. He hit a bloody telegraph pole, a high tension pole. Moved it about that far in the bloody ground and broke his left foot, I think, from memory. I think it was his left foot, yeah.
How old did you know him when that happened or not?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Because there certainly is mention of a couple of scars, one on his buttock and one on one of his legs, I think, as well. So.
Yeah, well, and we got a bloody bill for $3,000 to fix this bloody pole, and that was back in.
Yeah.
that's a lot of money.
That would have been.
That's about
50
30,
grand.
40, 50 grand.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
And he just laughed his head off, the silly big bastard.
Now you mentioned that a couple of his brothers would have been happy to throttle him. Is that just because of the torment that he put the family through?
Yeah, that'd be only in a jocular fashion. That was.
Yeah, I know, but
yeah, like, and Reg, for instance, and Reg and Joe and all were in a loose business arrangement for 3 or 4 years, and they got him out of the army to join them,
Yeah.
And he just sort of walks away and leaves them, And Reg, for many years, Reg used to only live a couple of doors down the street, but he said, well, he knows where we live. If he wants to come and see us, he can, But he's wiped himself of the whole family.
Yeah.
For
But,
one reason or another. Whether it was amnesia or not,
I don't believe for a minute there was amnesia.
I don't think so, personally.
No.
Because I was with him when he went away.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I wonder whether would there been a lot of family embarrassment if he did end up getting jail time in Melbourne for the for his driving?
Oh no, not in that
Not really.
sense, because that draws a family together most times, doesn't it? You know.
And it sounds like he hadn't really surprised the family with too many of his antics up until that date anyway.
Nothing was a surprise for him.
No.
See, I think with
He
my
took
dad,
Patrick with a second family. They were the only ones at respage. Like, Reg did too. Bob died young, Harry died young, Frank died young, and Joey wasn't very old when he died either. That's probably just coincidence.
Mm. So you have a brother, is that right? Pat?
I've got a blood brother, yeah.
Yeah. And his name's Pat?
Pat, yeah.
Cool. Is he still alive?
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
a couple of years younger than me.
Okay. Right, yeah.
We were adopted into the Kerr family and we just took the name Kerr
Yeah.
and we're basically part of the family.
Indeed.
yeah, I never saw that, never heard anything up growing up.
So how old were you when your mum met Patrick? Or got together with Patrick?
Oh, about 9. something
Okay,
like
yeah,
that.
that's right.
My parents split during the war.
Mm-hmm.
We came to the city, I don't know why we came to the bloody city. And we had a little shop at, mixed business shop at Newdown. And Mum used to go to the markets.
Mm-hmm.
And old Patrick Kerr worked at the markets.
Yeah.
We all worked at the bloody markets one time or another, you know. Frank and myself especially. So Frank was the youngest of the second family, and he was probably a little bit younger. He was a little bit younger than me.
Yeah.
But we used to knock around as kids. We went to different schools, but socially we went to the same places and
Okay.
knocked around with the same group in the suburbs. And I caught the bastard one night in Bankstown with my brand new bloody suit on. But we were pretty close, you know.
Not that close.
Killed the bastard. I chased him and he fell over and he ripped the... oh, Jesus Christ. He was a bit like old too, he was a bit
I was going
casual.
to say, it sounds a bit like it.
Mm.
So, as you can imagine, Dad never had 2 cents to rub together.
Yeah, that'd be right. You know, that was another bone of contention. We had a pretty big COD delivery service. And we tried to keep all off it.
Yeah.
Because if we
Yeah,
did
the money.
Monday, you wouldn't see him for 24 hours and there'd be nothing left. Yeah, it's your father I'm talking about.
Yeah, I understand.
But that's him for sure.
Yeah. I bet you the brothers wonder why they got him out of the army. They should have left him there. Might have got a bit of discipline.
Yeah, he was casual about life, like, and I think in those days there was a lot of blokes that came back from service, you know,
Yeah,
like
indeed.
they couldn't settle down and
Yeah.
drifted around a bit.
Mm-hmm. How long do you think he would have been in the army for in 49?
Oh, not long.
Okay.
I don't know for sure because I don't know when he went in,
Yeah.
and I don't think there's anybody around that would know.
No. I guess there might be records, and he may well have used another assumed name too, because those army records haven't come up on when we've done the search.
They haven't, only that one.
He
came
often
up.
used to go under the name of Aubrey James.
Yes. Yeah.
That was his.
Well, that's when he first went into the army when he was only 14 or 15. He used the name Aubrey James.
Did he?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, well, he often used to go under the name of Aubrey James.
Yeah.
So whether he went into Australia, but I'd say he wasn't in the army long in South Australia because they wouldn't let him out if he had been. Well, I wouldn't think they'd let him out. But, yeah, that's about all I can tell you about him, really.
Scallywag. He was a smoker. I know that he was Dad was a smoker. I don't know whether Aubrey smoked.
I think we all smoked in those bloody
Yeah, I was
days.
going to say that's probably the case too.
Um,
It's got a ciggy in his hand there.
yeah, I think he was a smoker. It was probably the grog more than anything, but
Yeah, well, that.
wound him down, you know.
Yep. Yes, indeed.
I wouldn't mind a copy of that if you.
No, they're your copies.
They're yours.
Yeah, they're yours to keep.
Oh right.
Yeah.
There's only one sister-in-law alive, you know. That's Reg's wife, but I'll show them to her.
Yeah, please do.
That's what I mean. All the first says,
They've all passed away.
except for the one spouse.
Reg's wife.
That's it.
Yeah, she's the only one alive.
That's it. All set there, I think.
In the motor, I think it was 47, he bought a motorbike
Okay.
and he joined the Beverly Hills Motorcycle Club, which was a good club, it was not like a motorcycle
Yeah.
clubs today.
No.
And I think that took up about 12 months of his life.
Good question. That was taken at the same time as me in the photo, so I think Kathy might have sent that over just to see whether or not there's anyone there that you might have recognised, but we think not, because I was at someone else's place, so we think they were friends of the homeowner.
You don't recognise anyone in there?
No.
She can.
No, that's the lady who put this file together. She
Oh, right.
unfortunately passed away not long after. She had cancer.
Who's this David George?
Yeah, that's Aubrey.
Yeah. Don't recognise him with the moan, he's a bit older there too.
Yeah, indeed, and obviously carrying a lot more weight.
Mm.
Oh, it's very good to catch up with you, because you really are the last link to him.
Yeah.
That's why I was glad.
Part of the family, you know,
Yeah.
so you now know for sure
Yeah.
you've got a hell of a lot of bloody nephews and cousins and God knows what.
Well, I'm one of your cousins then.
Indeed.
A new life sort of thing.
Yeah, well, you know, like a lot of them. How old are you?
I'm 57.
Yeah, well, I suppose they're all about the same age. Like
Michael, I think Barry and Dennis. Well, Barry and Dennis were the oldest ones. Well, it depends on where you on the pecking. So I was the youngest of the in the first family. So then you had the people in the second family. So they're a lot younger than me, I think.
they'd all be 50 or 60 now, I suppose. There was Harry had 2 boys. Frank had 3 boys.
Warren, who does he belong to? Because he just sent me a message earlier today.
That was the youngest of Frank's.
Frank's, okay. Yeah, he's a nice one. Yeah, Warren.
I didn't know Frank's boys too well. Colin works with the ABC. He's a helicopter pilot. Or no, he's a photographer that goes with the helicopter. Joe never had any kids.
No.
Reg had 3 daughters and a son. They all lived local.
Don't know any Anthony Steed in the family? Anthony Steed?
No.
No. That's fine.
No.
So no one there. 'Cause that's a second or third cousin, which is obviously quite close. And then that's a bit hard because a lot of people go by. It was a GC, so no idea who that would be. Laura Panacci. good family. Marie Martinelli,
See, they could be.
Tyler Spink, Colin Sellings.
So they all might be hunts.
They could well be on that side, yeah.
See, when I go on, is that for us
Oh,
too?
that one's mine, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's for John. Can you tell me, were their brothers as you remember them? So that's obviously all there.
Yeah, I wanted to find out. You can.
That's a brother-in-law, Stan Butel.
Okay, so
That's Rita's husband.
That's Reg Kerr. And Joe Kerr.
sure. Now, was Joe his Christian name, or was he...
Yeah.
Anthony.
Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yes.
I
Because I was
just
looking on the...
Because I had it labelled wrong. I got to fix that label.
Reginald Ronald.
Yeah,
And Aubrey Jones.
cool.
They were building Stan's house. That was about 1946.
Yeah, and my elder sister Kathy, she said, you know, that's dad's a bum, because he always had that sort of big bum.
Aubrey is also a mystery person within his family. Aubrey is to many the unknown Kerr. They've got him summed right up.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he was just like one of the thousand that just couldn't have settled into civilian life.
Yeah.
But he was
But Dad,
no,
I guess it was such a formative time in his life when the war was on.
but he was no fool.
Just acted it.
Well, if he was a fool, he was a fool.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah. You've got quite a file on him yourself.
Yeah, and the odd part is that most of it we actually had before the DNA tested, but we were just a little nervous how to approach anyone.
Yeah.
And in hindsight, we should have just done it because obviously anyone who's got a family member missing are fairly keen to find out what happened anyway.
It's just a shame they've all passed away because they'd all be interested.
Yeah.
I've been after.
No, that's right, because he was a non-person, he didn't exist. He did buy a house in about 1974, 73, which we lived in for the last sort of 3 years of his life, and then it got sold when he passed away.
He bought it, but he paid for it.
Yeah, he obviously somehow managed to get a loan. Yeah, but he was one of the mum and dad's relationship. The first sort of cracks in it started when mum decided she wanted to work. So he was very determined that a woman's job was not to work. And yeah, mum had done raising us kids, and basically she wanted some stimulation in her life.
Yeah.
And Aubrey just didn't seem to appreciate it.
Yeah.
This is just.
If you had a block of land, the government put a house on it for you. I think it was a forerunner of the Housing Commission or something like that. It was only a basic house, fair enough. And that's what the old man did. And that was about the middle 40s. Middle 30s rather. Might have been a little bit later. 37 sort of rings a bell.
Yep. Well, I think that's what it says in the family history.
Yeah.
Which is very similar time to when, I know it was after Elizabeth had passed away.
Elizabeth passed away. Oh, Molly. She
Yeah,
died
Molly.
1936, wasn't it? We said 36.
Yeah, well, she never lived in Beverly Hills.
Okay.
Yeah.
I used to go down that street periodically just to kitty boot, you know.
Was it there? When was the last time you might have gone there?
Oh, I don't know, 5 years ago or something
Was it
like that.
there? The house there?
I'm sure it's still there.
Okay, I might have to investigate a little bit more. I had this picture, and I had it wrong. Well, I thought it was the house, but obviously it's not.
And how many years would you have lived in the house?
I was there till 54. I got married in 54.
Right.
We nearly all got married in 54. When did your father get married?
55. Did you get married at Penshurst at the St. Declan's?
We all got married in different churches.
Okay.
Your father was married in St. Declan's. Joey was married at Bexley. Harry might have been, I don't know where Harry got married. I got married, Harry got married a fortnight later, Frank a fortnight after that. And then Joe got married probably a month or 6 weeks after that.
Where's that picture?
So what were you, 2021 when you got married?
Just 21.
Just 21. Okay. And does anyone know how Patrick met Molly?
My dad was born 1922. He was the baby that she died during childbirth.
Yep.
Then I've got stuff from the media. He sold all the furniture, and he moved up to Orange and got involved. He quit the trains.
Mm-hmm.
He moved up there and got into a pub at Orange or Acadia, and I think Molly worked there or managed it, and again he probably said, oh yeah, she's alright.
There was a heap of those Hunt girls, and they were all around that area. Parks, Tottenham, Trundle.
There's heaps. It was a big family. They had a family of 15, all to the same mum and dad.
So none of them were bloody girls, weren't
And Molly had been married before too, hadn't she?
No. Not Molly.
Molly hadn't?
No, Molly wasn't. Mary was.
Yeah, I think in the family history it said Molly had been.
No, I think on the marriage certificate they have her as a. Okay. I'm pretty sure she wasn't, but I'm going to always stand corrected. Because I went to the library and I found these Windsor and Richmond Gazettes, and like I found one on the 9th of March 1923. This company has received instructions from P. Kerr Esquire to sell by public auction at his residence in Mill Street, Riverston, on Saturday the 17th, the whole of his household furniture. And they've got a list of all the stuff. The goods will be found a good lot and for absolute sale. Mr. Kerr is leaving the district immediately. That's how it was reported.
The only long-term friend that my father had in WA was a chap by the name of Stan Wilson. Stan Wilson. No.
So you're interested in Mary because Mary's your grandmother.
Mary Elizabeth Kerr is your mum? Yep, she was a pedigree.
I'll have to get that. I think I've got your grandmother's death certificate. I don't seem to have it here. I've obviously got so many folders. It's not funny. What's this?
There's Pete, the computer up the back. There's no mouse with it. Have you got it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Want to send?
Because she would have been, otherwise, Molly would have been 26 when she married Patrick. Which is fairly old in those days.
And my
Went to the Tickners. I know he lived at Canley Vale or some bloody word. Reasonably close.
it's all cold and stuff.
One of the Hunt girls married a Medcalf, a bloke called Medcalf.
Yep, I do know that.
When Aubrey first joined the army, he put his next of kin down as Lillian Williams of 60 and stated that she was an aunt. at 68 Phillip Street, Parramatta.
She might have been the mum
Where's
of one
this,
of his girlfriends.
So,
Oh, 44, yeah.
mm,
We'll be going
yeah,
far,
44.
right, yeah.
Yep, there's Aubrey James. So, I've actually got a copy of it on here. He's
So you copy that.
Patrick Kerr, Mary Kerr. No, it's 39. The family history had an interesting way of putting it. What did they say? That she was moody, but she'd inherited how many? 6 kids, and then had another 7.
Yeah. She must have been pretty good.
And then died as a result of a back operation. Well done.
I don't know too much about that, only from what.
Got all the children there.
There's only George Kerr, he was the one that was on the pigger box and that. He was a pretty learned man, very intelligent man, but obviously he had his flaws. Did you want me to get a copy of that?
He had a regional education, all about a regional education too,
Yeah.
when he went to school.
Yeah.
But when he wrote that, if I didn't have that stuff, I would know where to go.
Yeah, indeed, yeah.
I think
Okay.
his son said one day, can you write a family history? So
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah, so it's just interesting as to who this look, I guess
I'd
it's
say
irrelevant.
she's a fictitious,
Yeah, someone signed it. Yeah, it's got to be.
yeah.
His girlfriend?
They were taking anything at the time.
Where's this, 44 is it? Or?
44. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, 40, how old was he in 44 anyway?
In 44, he would have only been minus 17. Minus 27. So was 17. So it looks like he actually enlisted in Victoria. No, that's right. He stated that he was born in Victoria when he first enlisted. Oh no, he couldn't lie straight in bed, could he?
But he seemed to have that mystique, didn't matter what he did, you know?
Oh,
And I'm sure he...
that's his handwriting, apparently. I don't know whether that. How you do, how you send it. Yeah. No, I agree. And hard to believe. I've lost my identity card.
But the fact that he never had paid taxes or anything. Well, in those days, there were a lot of people that didn't, you know?
This is the way the system was.
When Keating gave that tax amnesty in, what, 95 was it or something, or 2000? They were accused at the taxation department to get up to date. There wasn't a bricklayer in Australia that paid tax. When you were in the building code. We in it.